You know, if you're an insurance agent out there and you're continuing to sell the old kind of term life insurance, you need to stop that. Hi, I'm Randy Pierson. I'm the Vice President of Life and Annuities, and today I've got Brady Doppler, our top internal life marketer. And we're going to be talking to you about the old kind of term life, and I assume the new kind of term life, and which you should be selling. Stay tuned. All right, Brady, for the uninitiated out there, for the newer advisors out there, when we say the old kind of term life insurance, what are we referring to?
So I always tell advisors, it's kind of like you're walking into like an ice cream shop, right? The old type of term life insurance is like plain vanilla ice cream, right? You don't get much. It may be discounted, right? They're just trying to really get rid of it. Right?
Okay.
The new type of term life insurance is when you start getting into like your Rocky Roads or your different type of ice creams, right, that are more extravagant. So basically, the old type of term life insurance is just that. It's plain. You pay a premium and you get a death benefit. The new type of term life insurance has a ton of additional benefits that could benefit the consumer and definitely be more rewarding for the agent.
Okay, so
as far as living benefits, so to speak.
All right, living benefits. So before we maybe dive into the nuance of living benefits, agents, if they want to get quotes or proposals for the new kind of life insurance, how might they do that?
It's super simple. So you can go to GordonMarketing.com. If you're on the homepage, hover over the tools button and click on term and UL quotes. Or if you're out in the field, like I know many of you are, hitting the road, pounding the pavement, we actually have a mobile app that you can download. If you go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and type in Gordon Marketing Life Quotes, it's the application with the Gordon Marketing G logo on it and a blue background, and you're able to actually obtain quotes there and even take business if you want to take an application.
All right. Very good. We mentioned living benefits. Once again, for the newer age out there, what are we talking about? What are living benefits? What kind are they? I mean, and how do they work?
So it's commonly referred to accelerated death benefits, right?
Okay.
Where you don't actually have to die to use your term life insurance policy. Most agents are probably familiar with the phrase critical, chronic, and terminal illness. Okay. So those are the main features right there. Critical being cancer, heart attack, stroke type deal. Chronic being if you were like unable to perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. Okay. And terminal illness being you have a life expectancy of 12 or 24 months or less.
All right. Okay, so very good. So if an agent is evaluating what carrier they want to sell, you know, how do they determine, A, if the product that they're looking at has those kind of benefits and which of those kind of benefits they have? Where do they find that information?
So that was really hard for me learning the insurance industry, is to know what carriers have what, right? I mean, there's so many of them, there's so many products out there, and we've actually made it really simple. If you follow the steps that I just gave you and go to GordonMarketing.com, get to our term and UL quoting engine, and put in a client on there, you actually see a show details button at the bottom of each quote. So if you hit the show details for each specific carrier, it will pull up what product has what additional benefits with it. So it's super easy, or you could always give me a call and we can discuss it.
All right, very good. So, I mean, the important thing there is that whether it's speaking to you directly or going online, that information is available to every agent out there with ease. So the agent, has the client, they prepare a proposal, they find the numbers, the interest in the living benefits and selling the new kind of life insurance. How do they take the application? What's the application process look like?
So as many of you are probably familiar with, insurance was kind of ran by the whole paper aspect, right? Paper applications, and that's not true anymore, especially with the whole COVID pandemic that hit us really hard. Everything's pretty virtual, right? You can take an application directly from our website as well. If you're on the Gordon Marketing website, you can go to iPipeline. I'm sure many of you are familiar with iPipeline. Go to iPipeline and take an app, or as I mentioned earlier, you can actually do applications from your smartphone. So it just takes a quick, simple, easy setup and maybe a phone call to me to help you get set up. But that's available right now with 6 different carriers, and I can help you get set up to where you can take a drop ticket from your cell phone.
Drop ticket, fantastic. From your mobile device.
From your mobile device, exactly.
All right, so, I'm old school. I got in the business 30 plus years ago, and I was taught that one of the most important things about selling life insurance is to make sure that if the agent delivers a death claim to a consumer, that there's enough zeros behind that check, right?
Sure.
Making sure that the insured has enough life insurance, the appropriate amount. How can we help them in that fact-finding and discovery process.
So there's a lot of different tools out there that you could use. An insurance needs calculator, which is actually available on that mobile app that I was just speaking about. So you could download the mobile app, enter in the client's current debts and other bits of information, and it will spit out a number to you of what they should be insured for. Or a quick, easy phone call to me, I can help you narrow down that process. A lot of the times I see agents who are submitting $100,000 term applications for a new family or somebody who just had a child or just purchased a house. And quite frankly, it's not enough because they're not doing their research. So make sure you're getting your client's needs met with enough zeros behind their debt benefit. Yeah.
I would agree. It's really disheartening to see some of the studies and the information that comes out within the industry with respect to the woeful nature, the underinsured consumer public out there. And imagine that we can help the advisor fulfill those needs, even on our mobile app. Well, listen, unfortunately for this episode of Selling Life and Annuities, we have to call it to an end. I would encourage every agent out there that may suspect that perhaps they're not doing the most comprehensive job they could for their clients, either by providing the new kind of life insurance versus the old kind of life insurance, or making sure that their clients are insured at an appropriate level, reach out to Brady. He's here to help. He's 24/7. He'd take your calls almost any time, day or night, and help you make those sales. But for now, we have to call this episode to an end. Thank you, Brady, for joining me. Thank you, advisors out there, for watching this video. Do me a favor, click subscribe and the notification bell at the bottom so that you'll be sure to see the new content when it comes out every Tuesday. But for now, happy selling.